What's your advice to people who struggle in that space of backing themselves?
I've been homeless. I've lived on the streets when I was younger. So I've had the bottom and I've had the tops of stuff. She just looked at me. She's just like, I don't want this life.
This is it.
She's like, you can either continue down this path without me or you can give up the alcohol. And when you realize that no one really cares, you can start from a better place sometimes. Your expectation is that no one's going to care about this. People expect big things from little infants. But if you do want those outsized returns, those rags to riches stories that you see, those people haven't lucked in. The only thing I can say is if you limp in, it won't work. You have to give it your full go.
Welcome to Mind You. I'm Charlotte Cummings. For more than 20 years, I've been helping people make sense of the patterns shaping their lives. Why we keep having the same arguments, making the same choices, or feeling stuck even when we know better. If your life looks like it's working from the outside but doesn't always feel that way on the inside, you're in the right place. Here we talk about relationships, identity, work, parenting, and all the messy parts of being human, looking at what's really going on beneath the surface. Because when you understand your patterns, changing them becomes possible. I'm really glad you're here. Let's get into it. In today's podcast episode, I'm sitting down with Stanley Henry, who runs the Attn Seeker, a marketing agency which is all about making the argument that attention is standing between us and our goals. It's the new commodity, the new thing we all need to get comfortable with reaching for. So often attention is standing between us and our goals, but it takes a real mindset shift and is a real challenge to our mental health to allow ourselves to be viewed by others. This is also a fascinating conversation when it comes to talking about relationships for high-functioning people and how he maintains that part of his world. I'm really thankful for Stanley joining me in what is a little bit of an unlikely podcast match for him, but this is a great conversation and I'm sure you'll gain lots from his boldness, clarity, and challenge today. And I guess that's a really good launch into our conversation today, is that there are so many people out there who are terrified of putting themselves out there in the world. But we live in a world now where you have to put yourself out there.
Yep.
And it's a real mental health game. It's a real mindset game. What do you see when it comes to how people's minds hold them back?
Yeah, I think you said something interesting there that we have to put ourselves out there now. I think the problem with that statement is that is part of the problem actually. And it's not you saying it, but that's the mentality people have is that, I have to put myself out there now if I want to be successful. And I think that statement's somewhat wrong. So we have a lot of people going, I've been told I have to do content. Do you? Do you want to do this? Do you want to go down this path? This is a whole thing. And I think people have to understand that you can do it and you'll get outsized returns if you do it. But there are billions of people in the world living great lives who aren't doing it. So you don't have to do it. I think people have to first get to that statement. Actually, the book I've been writing the last 2 years is this 5 sort of stages of that attention. And the first one is just no attention, just networks. My brother, Wayne, has got a very successful business, never posts on social media, but he networks a lot. He meets lots of people. He's got lots of friends. So I think the first thing is to understand, do you need to do it? That's the first thing. If you do choose to do it, you have to understand, with everything and every decision, there's consequences. And one of those consequences is people can say and react to you however they feel. And if you want the returns on what a good brand does, you also have to take the bad. And you can potentially get lucky and never get bad comments, but that will only happen up to a certain point in brand level. There are people who do amazing things in the world and still get hate. People who are genuinely saving the world and still get just teared down, just torn down, just absolutely hated on. So you can never stop that. You just have to understand, okay, is the return or the benefit of doing this worthwhile? And if so, go down it. Now, people who get kind of up in arms about it or scared about it or whatever it might be, insecure around it, typically what I've found is if they don't get past that within the first few weeks, they never will. They just never will. And we've got clients we kind of know our personal brand clients, if they last 3 months, they're still with us.
They can do it.
If they don't last 3 months, they're gone.
What does your coaching to people look like in that 3 months? Because I see
Yeah.
this a lot where people come to me and they go, I actually want to be able to put myself out there. I actually have things I want to share, or I'm sitting with this great business stuff and I need to be able to make a video and
Yeah.
I'm terrified. Literally, that was a conversation with a client of mine last week.
Yeah.
How do you coach people through that?
Oh, we're pretty bad at the moment, to be honest. Like, we just kind of got to a point where we said to people, like, some people have it and some people don't.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably a bit of a cop out. And like, maybe if we had the resources or the know-how, could we coach everyone to do it? Maybe there's a way to adapt for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that some people, it gets other people's opinions are too strong.
Yeah.
They're just too strong. They will they just care too much about other people and what they think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if anything, maybe me not caring at all is maybe the problem.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a worse person to be. So when it does come to the coaching, though, there are people who can handle it, who do need coaching through it.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, entrepreneurs or business owners have a little bit thicker skin anyway. That's what helped them get out there. So for them, essentially what we say to them is prepping them at the beginning that, first of all, no one cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one cares. Like, you're not that important. You're not very unique.
Mm-hmm.
The faster we can realize that you're just an accountant or you're just this, like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a, like, you're not trying to become the Pope or something. Like, you're just trying to build your brand. Like, when you realize that no one really cares, you can start from a better place sometimes, you know, because your expectation is that no one's going to care about this. But once they do start caring about it, I've won.
Yeah.
Right? Once people do start watching, then you've won. Then you're good. So at least start from that place. And then the second thing is tell them that the biggest critics at the beginning will be your friends and family.
Yeah.
Like 100% will be your friends and family. And
I just wish I could hide all content from friends and family.
They're the worst.
Oh.
And they're brutal.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're brutal about it too. Like, the number of clients we've lost from a client going to the pub and his mates giving him.
Oh, no.
And him ringing up like, oh, my mates think this is bad. I was like, oh, do your mates buy off you? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, then, you know, there's 100 positive comments on this post, eh?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. My mate Dave said it was dumb, so
I
want to take it down. So, like, getting that coaching, like, telling them, like, your friends won't. They'll give you crap about it.
Yeah.
And what we say is, like, in time, your friends will come back to you and go, wait, how are you doing this stuff? Like, how is this happening?
And I'm proud of you. I'm proud to know you.
Like, my brothers are the worst. Like, I'm one of 4 boys.
Yeah.
And when I started this journey, my brothers ripped into me.
Yeah.
Like, as much as they could. And for good reason. Like, I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning. But now they're like, they're super proud and they love to see what I'm doing. And, you know, you know, because we're boys and we don't really tell each other our feelings very well. You hear it through third parties. Like, I'll have their friends see me and be like, oh, mate, Wayne was like raving about you.
It's so nice.
That sort of stuff. But at first, they rip into you until you get it. So there's those sort of things, like just telling them and highlighting, like, this will happen.
Yeah.
If you are feeling away, just call me.
Yeah.
Just call me and I'll talk you off the ledge.
Yeah. I actually have this concept. I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but something that is really, really helpful. It's like one of my flagship things I work with people around. And it's this idea that we all have an unbearable feeling.
Oh, yeah?
So, like, nobody likes to feel rejected or that they've failed or they've disappointed people. But for all of us, there's one of those feelings we find the absolute worst.
Yeah, okay.
And there is this feeling we are so allergic to, we structure our lives around avoiding it. We don't. It's like a button, the ultimate trigger. And I wonder if what happens for your clients is that if that button gets pushed, then they're out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's definitely that. It's definitely that. That's a great way to put it. And it's just, and so those things we try to highlight at the beginning is to say, it's just to set their expectations that this will happen. Like, you will have this thing that you don't like.
Yeah.
That is normal. Just please pick up the phone and call us before you just throw it all
Ditch
away.
it all. Yeah. We can coach you down from that. Yeah.
One of the other things too that helps with it, and this might sound a bit rich, but we just price it accordingly. So we got to a price point that if you're going to start a process with us, like, you're investing a lot of money.
You're going to be ready. Yeah.
And if you're going to put that sort of money in, you won't quit so fast. Yeah. You know, because, like, people might pay us, you know, 20 or 30K just to do strategy and onboarding for their personal brand. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, you're not getting that back just because you got scared. Like, so just let us do it.
That's your chips on the table.
Like, you really have to go through with this now.
Yeah.
Because you've just wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've won.
Yeah.
but let's help you win too.
Yeah. You've gone too far now to be looking back.
And
Yeah.
especially business entrepreneurs, because we hate wasting money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
I look on though at your business and I've done like this deep dive. I found your content so fascinating, and I find marketing so fascinating because I come from that psychology background, and it's so so closely related as an
100%.
industry.
Yeah.
But I actually look at your business and I get it that it's like a commercial thing, but there's a really rich, for me, looking on, sense of your values and your desire to back people, to help them flourish, to help them speak out in the world and be who they are. Talk to me about that.
You mean from the team's perspective as well, or just in general?
From you.
From my perspective is like, so our brand to start with has always been a recruitment brand. And what it's meant to, the way I sort of present it is like, from my perspective, I wasn't going to go build a business that required people unless I like could hang out with cool people.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew I could probably build a business on my own and still be quite successful. I decided to go down the route of building a business, a service-based business, using and working with other people. And so to do that, I wanted to have, I wanted to work with cool people, and so I needed to attract them. And then so that was the first thing. So I wanted a brand that like made people go, oh, I really want to work there because of X, Y, Z. And then the second thing is I knew that my personal brand was so strong. How do I scale that? Well, the only way to really do that is to encourage my team to do the same thing. So how do I create an environment where they also want to like do the same?
Yeah.
So then to do that, I have to find somewhere where I can like help people do their best and try their best and stuff. I couldn't force them to do it. I have to like create the environment that they want to do it, and that's the only way. And then also just like, I think helping people, or like, it's not even really helping people. It kind of makes me sound like I'm doing like in a altruistic way. Like I'm not. Like it's very calculated.
Yeah.
And I kind of tell people that like I am genuinely care about my team and all the people around me, and I do genuinely care about them. But I also understand like the best way to make a great brand is just to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, and just like help people do the right thing.
Yeah.
Build and all that sort of stuff. So it's both the right thing for people, but it's also the right thing for the brand to do.
Yeah.
And so even things like the lock-in on the weekend that we did, which is a similar sort of thing, but helping other people, helping clients, it's those sorts of things. I would love it if that was my whole job. Just like doing stuff like that, if that's all I was doing. I don't know if that really answered your question, but I kind of just think that if my brand is known as the guy who helps other people's brands and stories and businesses and things, that I'll just get more work and more staff wanting to work with us as well. So it's kind of the way I look at it. Anyway. It's like it started as a recruitment brand.
Yeah.
That recruitment brand is people want to not just work for us, but with us as well.
Yeah. And why do you do it all?
The whole business?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like actually, like I love business, and I joke about, well, maybe not joke, but I like you know, you get tired from it sometimes and you have whinges about it and rant, but genuinely love it. I genuinely love like the idea of I can like wake up in the morning, have a thought, and then that thought over the next few weeks or months or years now is responsible for people's mortgages. Like that idea is crazy to me. It still doesn't really, I still don't really get how that makes sense, but I've just seen it play out so many times. Like that thought I had 2 years ago is now paying for this person's kid's school tuition.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I love that idea of like you're literally creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
It fascinates me that, you know, this new brand webinar stuff we've been doing recently, you know, before March it didn't exist. And then now like we've got, today we're putting up 2 more job ads for people to come work with us to help us with it. Like those people can, like whoever we end up hiring now has like a career based on some idea I had in March.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that there blows my mind.
I hear some pretty thick altruism in that.
Yeah, I know, but like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know it borders on altruism, but it genuinely is like fascinating to me. Like it fascinates me that like I'm way too much of a big deep thinker on things, and so I think about like just how uh, tiny little actions like manifest into massive things down the line, that sort of butterfly effect and sliding door moments.
Yeah.
And so it's less about giving them something to pay for their kids' tuition. Like it's not like I'm going to come up with the idea so someone
Yeah,
can get
yeah.
a job. It's more that happens.
Yeah.
That
It's pretty wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
neurons fire in your head and someone can eat dinner.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that really answers it, but like
Yeah.
I really am fascinated by that. So I love doing it.
Yeah.
I also like a big reason for doing all of this is that because I love doing it, and the reason I push so hard is my wife like gives me the confidence and the permission almost and she backs me. Like she's given me a lot of freedom to just do whatever I wanted. She didn't necessarily want this life. You know, we had a good life before starting this. We had great jobs. We had the high-rise apartment in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We were good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, so we're going to get rid of all of this and start this business.
Yeah.
And, you know, she had some hesitancy because it's not really what she wanted.
Mm.
What she wanted, though, is for me to be happy, for me to give stuff a go.
Yeah.
And she just backed me the whole way.
Yeah.
And so whenever I wake up and maybe not feel like doing anything, you just have to roll over and see her and go, oh, there's no way I'm not getting up, you know? Like,
she bet on you.
Yeah, she gave up this whole life that she had
Yeah.
to give me this opportunity to do something that I love and not necessarily give up her love, but like she gave up her career to follow my career. And I can't like just ignore that anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
don't take that for granted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like it would be fair to say that you're a pretty impressive dude. And then I look on and I go, I see, you know, a picture of you and Claire and go, actually, like that's the flex. That's the real achievement, hey. And I know
100%.
you haven't been married for that long, but you speak so fondly of her. Tell me what's helped you have a successful relationship as a super high functioning person.
Yeah. She's the reason.
Yeah.
She is the reason. Like, so we've been together. So we've only been married for a few years now. We got married in 2024. But we've been together now 11 years. We've known each other for much longer than that. So I met her when I was 21 for the first time. We had different lives and everything with friends and that. And then, about 11 years ago, we sort of became a couple, I suppose. She moved back from London and whatnot. And anyway, that journey from that point when she moved back from London and we got together to now has been huge. Like it's been a massive winding road that like a lot of growth and a lot of development. Like I was in hospo and in hospo there's a lot of like mental health problems in hospo because there's a lot of like shift work, there's a lot of alcohol. Not that I did, but there's a lot of drugs in the industry as well. Like it's a really bad thing. But I drank a lot. And so most of my hospitality career, I was essentially an alcoholic for most of that time. And the start of my relationship with Claire, I was in that position too. So for about the first 2 years of our relationship, she'd come back to London, from London. We got together. We were still, you know, somewhat youngish at that time in our 20s. And so we were partying and all the things you do when you're in your 20s. But then at one point, and it was on Boxing Day 2017, she just looked at me. We were hungover. We'd like spent Christmas with her family. Me and her dad and her brother got pretty drunk. I was hungover the next day. And she just looked at me. She's just like, I don't want this life.
This is it.
Yeah. She's like, you can either like continue down this path without me, or you can like give up the alcohol.
Yeah.
And we're not. And for her as well, she didn't want to.
Yeah.
Be drinking either. And so at that point in time, it was like a sliding door moment. Like I could, and I could choose which way I wanted to go. And my whole life, I had chosen to just quit. I'd been that type of person. And so I just decided at that moment, like, no, this is worth it. Like, let's like stop being an idiot, Stan.
Yeah.
So that decision led us to not drink for like 7 years, which is the reason we have the business and everything. Because like life completely changed when we stopped drinking. We got to a point now where we can have a glass of wine here and there. So we're not, you know, alcoholics, I suppose. Well, I'm not an alcoholic. But that decision to not quit on her at that point just became a recurring theme. So like I stopped quitting on stuff.
Yeah.
And she was behind me, backing me on everything. So in business, the hardest thing in business is to persevere.
Yeah.
You know, like they talk about like the businesses who succeed are the ones who never quit.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it. Like you just got to find a way to live another day because business is tough and it's like this. And when it gets to the bottom, people quit and they go do something else. And it's just like, if you cannot quit, you'll ride the wave back up. And the idea is that those dips get higher and higher, as you go.
Yeah.
And so Claire has been part of that journey to not let me quit, and that decision to not quit then because of her became like a repeating pattern that happened, and a positive one, I suppose. So so as like our relationship going through that sort of journey meant that it required a lot of like open communication. It required us to not like hide feelings from each other, to define our roles as well. Like that's been a huge thing.
Though I do love that she plays golf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She 100 plays golf.
It's
I wouldn't even try to play golf. She swings like Tiger Woods.
So good. I love that for her.
She's so good. I'm actually not allowed. She's got golf tonight and tomorrow, and I'm not allowed to go.
Yeah.
She's like, this is my thing. You can go away.
Yeah.
But our roles have been defined in that, like, I'm the CEO of the company and she's the CEO of the house. And so we know not to cross each other's boundaries. Like, if she can weigh in on what happens in the business, but once I make a decision, she's like, okay, well, you have to deal with the ramifications, Stan. So you get to make that. And same with the home, like our private life, she leads. And if she says this is how it's going to be in the home, then I'm like, okay, well, I don't step on your toes either. And that's the easiest way to say how the definition is done. It's got a bit more nuance to that.
Can I give you a hack?
Yeah.
Because my husband and I have ministerial portfolios. Like, in Parliament when it's like, you're the Minister of Social Development, you're the Minister of Health, like we do it that way, that it's like divvy it up on those lines.
It pretty much is like that. Yeah. And, like it got into a bit of tension when the last like probably major disagreement we had, which was when we first went to New York for 3 months. So it got a bit grey on what was home and what was work, because we were living in New York for 3 months.
With a colleague.
Yeah. And so it was kind of this grey area of work and business. And so, that was like those grey areas of when it crosses over was kind of like this ministerial thing. Like it was like, okay, well, actually booking travel for work is in my domain.
Yeah.
But the place where we're going to live, the Airbnb, that's your decision, actually. So we had to, it wasn't just all the travel plans sat with me, actually. I had to decide on flight times and things like that, because that was like operations we had to achieve. But then where we're going to live and how that flat was going to run for the 3 months and everything we had to give to. So it took a little bit of attention, because I was like taking somewhat of a control, because for me it was like a work thing.
Yeah.
But then Claire's like, no, but like there has to be a separation here. We have to be able to end the day at home, even though that home's now New York. Yeah. And so we started to figure out those nuances. But that all comes down to that just open communication and talking a lot. We're very good at just having lots of good dialogue as well. And we're okay to not, I guess, like be right in it. It took a long time actually for Claire to realize that, like, when I argue that I'm right, or like I think I'm right, I'm like quite forceful in that. Is my personality style. And so that classic, like, oh, you always think you're right kind of thing, that was like a tension in the early days in our relationship. But what we realize is I am also very quick to fold. Yeah. But when I fold, I don't make a fuss about it. I'm just like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, sure.
Now we're done.
Yeah, now we're done. And so they got misattributed.
Yeah.
So no one realized that I folded lots. Yeah. But when I don't fold, I'm really stubborn about it and determined to go, no, I think I'm right here. Yeah. So that was actually a real interesting hack for us as a relationship, because it solved so many tensions, especially when it came to the business. If Claire said something to me, what she thought should change the business, I accepted it. I was like, oh yeah, sure. But then that got overlooked because there was no big discussion about it. I was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. Yeah. But then when I didn't like something, and that became a tension, so that was remembered. Yeah. And so then it became that, oh, you always think you're right conversation, which is not ever a good thing to do in a relationship, to always and never. Yeah. But once we realized that, oh, actually, you do often say, yeah, sure, cool, that makes sense. Yeah. Once we realized that happened, because even I didn't know that I was doing that, we started to realize, oh, actually, maybe I'm not just, if I am quite stubborn on something or forceful on something, maybe there is some reason to it. Yeah. And maybe if it is my domain, let me have it. Yeah. But then the same on the other side, like, if she says the same thing, I need to also just go, oh yeah, maybe she needs to have it. Yeah. So that's been pretty good. Like we pretty much know our lanes. Like over the weekend is a really good example of it. She ran the hospitality of the event. And I just stayed out of her way. Yeah. Like and even if I ask her, are you all good? She's like,
I got this.
You don't need to ask me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know I'm good.
Yeah. No checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll come to you if I need you.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're really good like that now.
But what I'm impressed by is like so many businessmen, I'm sorry to say it, are dicks when it comes to their relationships and put no effort into like, you're really thoughtful about it. I can hear the thinking and the work and the communication that's gone into it. And there is a bit of a thing that I strike heaps with the kind of high performing people I see for counseling is that you end up in these spaces where you leave all of your operations thinking at work at the end of the day. You leave your communication, you leave your comms, like basic comms meetings, like managing the diary meetings. You leave it all at the office and then you come home and expect that this whole thing's just going to somehow flourish all by itself.
Yeah, that is interesting. We have our separation of home and work. That separation of home and work, actually, even though we have different roles, we don't really think of it as a different place, if that makes sense. So like we kind of realize that if this is the life we're going to go down and we both own this business together, they're one and the same now. Life will never be, business doesn't end when I walk out of the office. So therefore, like you said, like the ministerial thing, like that sort of CEO of each department, home is still part of work. It's just a different part of work. So then we don't fall out of that leave. We don't leave like, I've got a couple guys on the team who and have had them over the years who are like in their 50s, maybe divorced and whatever, and are these high functioning people really good at their job. But like when their wives have left and not just in my team, just in other people I've met, they have that thing where they're at home, they're just like lost puppies. They like don't know how to behave anymore or be people. So that's been definitely something I've adopted and realized that like both Claire needs to be her own person so that, because some people would look at it going, oh, well, Stan's the one who's out there front facing and she's the trophy wife or something, and that sort of commentary will come through sometimes, but she's not. She's like 100%. No. If you know, you know, but it, like, you know, people, what they're like, and that's why she doesn't love comments very well. Because they see me as this front-facing person. And actually, like, what I try to say to most people is, like, she's the smart one. Like, she gets all the benefit of the business without having to do all the tough stuff. But she is definitely 100% her own person and does her own thing and whatever. And then I have to be the same and independent. And she won't, just because she takes care of the home and I don't have to make decisions there, she still doesn't just, like, let me get away with stuff. You know, she still, like, tells me off if I haven't told her something about an event that's coming up or calendar or whatever. So there is a lot of intention in it, and I think most of that intention comes from without putting too much burden on Claire, I am very grateful for that moment in time where she gave me that one decision to make. Like my life is just so much better because of it. So that sits in the back of my brain at all times, like where I don't want to screw it up essentially. And look, it's been years now and I'm not screwing it up if anything, but I don't want to get complacent there. Like I want it to constantly say, what more can I do for her? How more can we make this, how can we make this more better or whatever? So I'm really conscious of that.
Although what I really like is that you experienced in your personal life what I would call a redefining moment around giving up alcohol and what that looked like. And I'm doing this hard thing, but actually my life's better without this. And look how well this has turned out. And actually now I can take those skills and put them into my business. And so often there are those cool like redefining moments in relationships that actually like are so transferable to business, not quitting.
Oh, 100%. Oh, like we said, there is no difference between business and personal, actually. People want there to be. And there just isn't. It's just interacting with other people. Like it's just relationship dynamics.
Doesn't feel like that actually in our lived experience, although we try and make it that way in our heads. I wasn't planning on giving you tips and hacks all day today, but there is something I'm like, I want to tell you this thing because I think you'll find it super helpful. Have you come across that 4-quadrant thing before? So in the quadrants are, I decide with your input, you decide with my input, and you decide.
Okay.
And so you talk about, hey, we're approaching this decision. Which of the quadrants are we in? Because like what square are we in here?
That's great.
And it is so, so helpful to be able to go, and even with staff members, like where are we here before we start this conversation? Is this that I'm asking for your input because this is actually like I'm making the decision, or is it we're talking about this because this is your decision? You need to go with this.
I like that.
4 quadrants.
Great. It's one of those things that like you know inherently,
Yeah.
but it's cool to put a label to it because, and I think that's really important, because
Yeah.
it reinforces the behavior more. We
Yeah.
definitely do it in a relationship perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is something that comes up as staff,
Mm.
where staff aren't sure
Yeah.
sometimes if they're, can they weigh in on something or
Yeah.
not? And it's quite hard actually, because like we have quite a split. Like our staff are either quite young
Mm-hmm.
and junior, or quite old and senior,
Mm-hmm.
sort of essentially. Because like the strategic guys and the creative guys, they're all they've got there because of experience.
Yeah.
And so that's divide. We don't
Yeah.
have a lot of people in the mid range.
Yeah.
We've got this real divide 'cause we're not big enough to have middle management essentially.
Yeah.
And so the young guys often struggle to know whether or not,
Yeah.
are you looking for my input, or you just telling me what to do?
Yeah. Where are we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's great.
Go back and make the poster.
Yeah.
I'm really chuffed that I could give you a couple of wee things
Yeah.
through
Give
the
it to our
conversation.
AI.
Yeah. Hey, so tell me about, because I saw
Yeah.
this super interesting
Yeah.
thing around how you're using AI in your relationship, and that sparked my interest. Talk to me about that.
Oh, in our relationship, so it's like a home AI.
Yeah.
The way we're looking at it is, so we've got two brains essentially that we build. One for the business that fully runs the business, and then we're slowly putting this one into the home. And the reason with the one in the home isn't so much that it helps the relationship in a I guess intimacy type perspective of relationship. It's really just to keep us on track together. So those miscommunication moments where I forgot, classic husband forgetting to tell her something that I should have told her.
It's operational rather than soft stuff.
Yeah. And so our finances as well. I think finances is a real important one actually, because as the business owner and the one who's responsible for a lot of our business finance, I've always been really mindful of I don't want Claire to feel like she doesn't have the money she needs. She gets a salary and everything, but we can't have joint accounts. So I want her to have a lot of transparency and understanding of where our finances are. So she never feels like, I would hate it if she ever felt like she had to ask me to spend money. That would crush me. So, and she's really bad at spending money in the first place. So she's she comes from a family that's very responsible with money, which is good. But I want her not to think, because then there's that separation of me. So actually by this AI, knowing our financial situation, for her to be able to just have a little bit of better understanding of it and stuff and whatever. So that's a big one. Things like holidays and trips, it's a big thing for us to, I'm 100% on everything I do, or 0%. And so Claire wants to do more together, but she knows that it's not best for me to do 50% work, 50% this. So planning trips and booking those things in and understanding calendars so that she can go, well, I can just book something.
Yeah.
Because this AI knows when you're free and what's coming up and all that sort of stuff. So there's things like that. Also just our health and tracking stuff. So there's a lot of stuff, like you say, operational things that it's just taking care of. And then ideally what it allows Claire to do is plan things in our relationship, in our personal life, without having to, because I'm so busy, her just being able to do it autonomously without having to wait to check with me with anything, because it can look at my calendar.
I'll check with my husband is a real lame feeling.
So dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to ever be something that she has to do.
Yeah.
I don't want her to, if she wants to book a holiday, just do it.
Yeah.
Just book it in.
Yeah.
And if she can see the calendar and what's forecasted in the business, she just book around it.
Yeah. And likewise, my husband hates the feeling of I have to check with my wife to tell you whether I can go out on that boys' night. It sucks for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't want that. So that's kind of all the AI is for the relationship side of it. And also we have our own personal, we have other investments and things that we do. So it manages all of that are outside of the business.
Yeah.
And it's also just fun.
Yeah.
I
love it. I have recommended to so many clients lately that they use AI to get around the stuff in their lives and their relationships and their parenting and all sorts of different spaces. And they're initially kind of shocked. Why is my therapist telling me how to use AI to help me through these problems? But I mean, I think the therapy world has been way too slow to catch on. So I've been telling people lately, okay, we'll stop fighting about this finance thing. Make a weekly appointment that you're going to sit down with your AI tool of choice and work through this. Like, what do you need to feed it to be able to help you resolve this? Like, one of you feels too in charge of this. We'll just make Claude in charge of it and call it a day. Like, lots of this kind of coaching stuff where people are still going, can I use it for that?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you
that's
can.
great.
Planning holidays and all that stuff.
Especially, planning holidays and all that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that people don't realize like just how much it can do.
Yeah.
And that if there's an issue inside of a relationship or any part of any problem, if it has the context of who you are and what you want and everything, and then you give it that problem, it'll find you a solution.
Totally. Or the classic, this person goes on a holiday and they like to be really active and this person wants to just chill out and read a book. Then how are we going to work out a schedule for the next 2 weeks that we're not going to want to get a divorce at the end of it?
Yeah, that's me and Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to do nothing. And she's like, let's go do lots of stuff. And so we had to find, how do we balance that the right way? Like, we're going to Rarotonga in August.
Yeah, cool.
And that essentially because we found that we had this gap and we should book something.
Yeah.
And I just want to go do nothing.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we should probably do these activities.
Yeah.
So it's just finding out, like, even just like, where do we stay?
Yeah. Being
close to the activities and being able to do stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
Claude just mapped it out.
Yeah. So good. So good. I don't know if you were expecting to talk about relationship stuff. It's such a section of our conversation today.
And it's such a big part of our business.
Yeah, totally.
And the guys know it too. Like, Claire, from the outside, for people who don't kind of know and understand that dynamic, a lot of them, like I've said before, they would look at me being, he's the CEO, he's the boss, and that's his wife. But like internally, and everyone who works with us understand that Claire's the co-owner.
Yeah.
And she does play a real crucial role in it.
Yeah.
And so the business there is no business without the relationship. Like, it is one and the same, as you would know with like dealing with that. And I think understanding that really well as a couple is why the business is so strong.
Yeah.
Because if that wasn't, the guys know, like, if Stan and Claire aren't good, this will not be good. Because they're so intertwined and interdependent that, like, we need them to be good. We're never not, so they don't have to, but they know, like they've said, if you guys, for whatever reason, got divorced or something happened, like, this is not good. Even to the point of, like, insurance. Like, we recently just, like, as, like, cash flow and stuff was better in time, we put Claire's insurance up so that if she passes away for whatever reason, there's enough money for me to grieve properly. For the first few years of the business, from a cash perspective and a cost perspective, we took the risk on keeping hers lower, just enough, you know, to be able to, so let's say take her body home to Australia. But mine was always large because she was like, I can't do your part of the role. I don't want to do your part of the role. So even those sorts of things, knowing that, like, our business is so intertwined with our relationship that we have to have things in place that if, I was to get cancer or all these sorts of things that truly happen to people, that would both be good as well, because otherwise the business would fail.
Yeah.
If our relationship has a roadblock, the business will have a roadblock. So it is one and the same.
Yeah. I love that you've been able to go there.
Yeah.
Conversations that so many people put off and then, like, life happens.
Life happens. Yeah. And I've seen it too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it too many times. Life happens. People aren't prepared for it. Yeah. And then it's not just your relationship that's at stake, but all the staff and all their lives are at stake as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to briefly pause to thank the sponsor of today's episode, RK. I have really sensitive skin and I've been loving the RK skincare range, especially their bed balm, which has become part of my nightly routine. RK is crafted right here in New Zealand by skin therapist Renee Hohaya, who has more than 25 years of experience, using clinical grade ingredients to create skincare that's effective, uncomplicated, and feels beautiful on your skin. If you're looking to top up your skincare, head to rkskin.com and use the code MINDYOU for a generous 20% off your first order. The link's in the show notes too. I want to pivot to talking about women and AI, because I love that you talked about your lockdown over the weekend, your AI boot camp kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my audience is predominantly like 90% women, 35 to 44.
Yeah.
And some of them like kind of dipping in and out of the workforce, contracting, having their own business ideas that helping to make succeed at the moment, but have also perhaps had some kind of time out with kids and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I really hate the evidence about how women are being left behind with AI. Talk to me about that.
I don't know if that evidence is strong enough, to be honest.
Mm.
I understand, like, at probably a macro level, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that, like, at a real macro level, I think the 35 to 44-year-old woman who has had kids or coming back into career or changing careers, like, it's a real, I mean, I'm no expert on women's life, but from my experience and, like, clients that I've worked with in that space, like, it's a real transformative time in women's lives who have had kids and whatever.
Yeah.
Man, they're on my webinars are more than 50%
Yeah.
women at that stage.
Yeah.
The women who came to the lock-in are all these women in, like, a transitional period of their life, and they're doing epic things with it. And I think that there's probably, like, a true thing that, like, younger women probably aren't as engaged on AI, and I don't get a lot of them in my webinars. That they account for a tiny percentage of the people who do stuff with us.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is
Wow.
interesting. With the young boys,
Yeah.
it's like playing video games
Yeah,
for them.
yeah,
I
yeah, this is
think
fun.
it's like it's a very different thing for them.
Yeah. Hits different brain pathways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that middle age period, it's 100% 50-50. Yeah, 100%. The people in their 30s and 40s, it's definitely 50% male, 50% female.
I'm so heartened to hear that.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
like you saw the photos.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there was
Yeah.
like half of them were women, and so that's really cool. I mean, you could also see that the only 2 young people there were men. So
I
that's
did see
also
that.
there was no young females even interested in it.
Wow.
I didn't even get inquiries about it. So that is, and I don't get a lot of young women on the webinars.
Yeah.
The youngest usually started in their late 20s to early 30s.
Yeah. I mean, that's super fascinating when you've got a number of younger females in your team who are quite out there in terms of your online presence. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And our biggest audience is young females.
Yeah.
By far, because of the Attn Seeker brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely, and I think it's just yeah, like you say, like, young people in general aren't as interested in AI. They also, the thing with AI is the reason why middle age, like the millennials essentially, are probably championing AI is because, one, we're at that stage now in our careers where we've got much better leadership skills and communication skills. And AI is not a tech problem, it's a people problem. It's got nothing to do with tech. Like, in fact, like, it's almost zero tech space inside of it, unless you're building AI.
Yeah, yeah.
But no one using AI is building AI.
Yeah. It's not built for those people.
No, exactly.
By those people.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then when you're a bit older in your 50s and stuff, you almost like, you kind of can't be bothered now at that point. You're kind of like, oh, whatever, I don't really need to be more productive. I'd rather be not working.
Yeah.
And then the younger guys, I think my younger team don't get anywhere near the same result out of AI as the older guys, because they just don't know how to speak to it. They don't know how to define their problems very well and everything. So I think that's also part of the play. The younger crowd aren't getting the same results as the millennial crowd. So Gen Zs aren't anywhere near. And that's the first time in history, right? That like technology is getting adopted by an older generation faster.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a people problem. It's a communication problem. So definitely there. It would be cool to have more young women in that space with us, and maybe we need to make a better marketing ploy to get them in as well. But in saying that, we have one of the young kids who come along to the weekend. His name's Nico. He's 17. He runs hackathons for high school students.
Wow.
And I always invite him along for free. I'm like, come along, like, he's cool. He comes to all our run clubs. He's just such a cool kid.
Oh.
His hackathons that he runs one day every school holidays with us. We give him the downstairs floor, and he brings in all his crew that like run these things. And there's like 15 of them or something.
Yeah.
Half of them are young girls.
Yeah.
And one of his 2 I see is a young girl as well. So at that level of these kids, there are like he'll get 100 kids along, and they'll be half young girls.
Nice.
Like, we're talking like 14 to 17 year olds.
Yeah.
So that crowd, he's managed to find that audience somewhere. So they are there.
Yeah.
I just haven't been able to find the 20-something
those people.
young females.
Interesting. So fascinating.
Yeah.
You've mentioned the phrase a couple of times in the conversation today around personal brand. And when I reached out to you, I said to you, the podcast episode I heard you do on personal brand is the only podcast I've ever listened to twice. the only podcast that I'm going to go back on that and I'm going to write myself notes. That was super cool.
Yeah.
About a year ago, we moved to a little rural community and I understood personal brand at a whole nother level because we were like to our kids, like I've got, an 11-year-old neurodivergent kid and we were like, if you're an ass to your cricket coach, that cricket coach is the same guy who runs the farm down the road that you might want to work on in like 5 or 6 years' time.
Yeah.
So like, it's that whole kind of your reputation precedes you and you have to kind of show up well when you're interacting with people. But talk to me about that whole personal brand concept because I still feel like there's a bunch of people who are not kind of getting that is more and more of a thing, hey?
That personal brand and reputation are this one and the same, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. I think that, so when it comes to personal brand, because we have such strong digital footprints now, and that's something that just happens from existing now in the world, and we're sort of reclassifying anything digitally as like personal brand, when in reality it's just like your reputation. We've always had reputations. They've always been a thing. Your reputation, as you said, does precede you. And so because there's digital footprints now that just happen by the essence of being alive, those digital footprints don't go away. And people see them at a much higher rate than what they would interact with you.
Yeah, kids also got a YouTube channel, so we've got to be cautious about it.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you think about, you put a post up on LinkedIn and you might get, even if it bombs and you get 200 people see it, right? And that's all you've got watching it. That's, if you think about, you go to a barbecue on the weekend with some mates and there's like 6 people there and you say something, well, 6 people heard it and that's it. End of story. But like 200 people is more than you know.
Yeah.
Like it's that old, we only really know 150 people, whatever those like group dynamic stuff are. And so 200, and that's like a pretty bad performing post.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're getting into like a couple thousand people, that's a lot of people forming an opinion of you based on whatever this piece of content is or whatever they're seeing. So you do need, like, it's easier if you could control that narrative. And I think that one of the reasons why I constantly put out content is as you go through the world and there's always going to be people who think differently to you or say things about you or whatever. And like we've had, at every stage of our growth, there's been a transition period as we've moved forward. The people that we were with who didn't move with us will say something about us.
Yeah.
And that's always happened at every stage of our business all along since year one. And people get nervous like, oh, well, this person's saying some crap about you. And it's like, well, my voice is just louder. And I know that not to be true. And I can sleep at night knowing it isn't. So therefore, I'm just going to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Like, because I can control this narrative and that person speaking to no one anyway. And actually, someone saying stuff about you online probably reflects more on them than it does me anyway. So just ignore it and move forward.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing for like personal brands. Like you get to control the narrative of what it is. And like, it's a crazy thing to say. And this is a crazy example, but I always use Kanye West as an example. Like he's a pretty terrible human right now. Like, and which is a shame.
He's got some work to do.
He's got some work to do.
Yeah.
And, he objectively, he is a pretty terrible person at the moment, right? It's not even a subjective thing. Like objectively, he said and done some things in the last few years that you're a really bad person.
Yeah.
And then he puts on a concert and it sells out instantly. And that's showing that like his narrative is so strong that he controls that millions of people would still turn up to a concert for him, even though he's done these terrible things. Yeah. Now that's extreme, but his bad thing was extreme too. Like he's done some of the worst things that people could do right now.
Yeah.
And so he is as famous as he is, but like people talk about like the bigger you are, the harder you fall. But actually it's not true. Like he's got such control of his narrative, he can still do those things. Now, most people listening to this podcast, I hope, aren't going to do what Kanye West did. The things that you might do that annoy people, it's just a difference in opinion.
Yeah.
That little difference in opinion, if someone says that publicly, it's not going to obviously have the same impact as what Kanye West did. So if you can just like continue to have your own narrative go out there and build your personal brand, you will never have to worry about any of those things. As long as obviously if you are a bigot, maybe you should have a
Tone it
reflection.
down. Yeah.
But if you're genuinely like, I'm assuming the people who watch this podcast,
Yeah.
especially, are probably really good people.
Yeah.
You've probably got nothing to worry about. Just
Yeah.
control your narrative, and your voice will be louder than anyone else who says it. Even if they have a louder voice, their voice saying something about someone else won't be louder than your voice talking about yourself.
Mhm.
So, and as I said before, they're probably going to be a bit more of a reflection on them. If
Mhm.
you genuinely did something wrong, yeah, cool, make amends.
Yeah.
That's just be a good human. But if you haven't and people are just saying stuff about you,
Yeah.
whatever. So I actually think that's a really good reason for a lot of people, like control your narrative. So that's on the combating negative stuff. But then on the positive side of it, like it is just life-changing. Like I can't speak to it enough. I say to people, okay, if you really want this to happen, just post on any channel, no matter what it is, once a day for a year, and come back to me and tell me how your life changes. Because it will. Like it just will. Like every single person who's listened to advice, which isn't a lot to be honest. Most people can't do it. But every single one of them who has, their whole life has changed.
Yeah. And I think that was my reason for really wanting to get you onto this podcast and share with this audience. It's probably a bit different to the usual for you.
Yeah.
Because, like your whole Attention Seeker business is built around this idea that attention's the commodity now, guys. And actually, this is the thing that is standing between you and your choices in life and your freedom and your ability to be yourself in the world and bring the best of yourself to the world. And there is such a mindset like shift that is required to be able to let yourself back yourself and show up as the raw kind of version too, hey?
Yeah. It is hard too to explain it to people as well, because everything you just said is correct. And then I say, like, just trust me, do it for a year.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, cool stuff. Yeah, it's so long. But it's like, actually, because everything becomes easy mode once you do it, and you can have all the things you want, really. Honestly, like, if you do it right, you start to be given, you start getting yeses to the things that you're asking for way easier than what you did before.
Yeah.
Well, that shouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
That should not be easy to get to that point in time. The world is tough. It's unfair. It's a struggle for most people in the world.
Yeah.
We are all, like most people listen to this podcast, are going to be probably in a pretty privileged state.
Yeah.
Like if you want more than what you already have, because you won some postcode lottery, right? Like we're all pretty privileged being in New Zealand, even Australia, and probably the people who listen to this or who speak English, let's say, to even understand this podcast.
Yeah.
We've already got a good space. If we want better than this, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like in today's world, like it's either time, money, or attention is kind of what I think. Like you can spend a lot of time just getting really good at what you do, and you will, like, good rises to the top.
Yeah.
Like good stuff will rise to the top, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
So you could just take time. You could ask dad for some money, or you can get investment or whatever.
Yeah.
So money can buy you what you want. If you're in New Zealand and are listening to this, unfortunately, the capital market here sucks. So you probably can't get much money. Good luck getting capital raise. Go straight to the US.
Yeah.
And so then if you don't want to wait 20, 30 years or even 10, and you don't have access to that level of capital to really buy your way into it, then attention is like a third option that you can own. And you can genuinely own and harness it.
Yeah.
That's the other cool thing. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So that's why I love it. And like, I mean, it's the reason I wrote the book and is about this, because I talked to a lot of people about this exact concept, and I was like, actually, what if you just led with attention first, then built a product, then built an audience, like, or sorry, not an audience, then built a business out of that? Like, what would happen if you did that? And every stage of our business where we hit like a threshold of followers or viewership or whatever it might be, our business completely transformed.
Yeah.
Like every time a new channel of ours opened up, and we doubled down on it, our business revolutionized.
Yeah.
And like things just been offered to us left, right, and center. So yeah, I'm real bullish on it. Obviously, it's my whole business.
And then I listen to so much of what you're about, and then I'm like, but standing between people and their ability to handle that attention or to put themselves out there in some way is this mental health piece.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm so fascinated by that. Like even my experience of that has been just like, I'm a super self-aware person. I've like got a couple of degrees. I'm doing a PhD. I'm immersed in this like reflective psych world. And showing up and putting myself out there has been one of the most confronting things I have ever done.
Mm,
And I sit with my marketing people and they're like, Charlotte, there's still a difference between this like
yeah,
polished version of you that you like other people to see.
yeah,
Then when you sit down and like have a coffee with
yeah,
us, you're really different. The
yeah,
vibe is really different. You still can't yet show up as who you
yeah,
actually are.
yeah.
So it's a game, hey?
That's an interesting thing you said there.
Yeah.
This is actually saying that is something we work with our clients on.
Yeah.
So you just said you're not showing up who you really are,
Yeah.
but you are. We just aren't one dimensional.
Yeah.
So we have the way you show up to your husband is actually
Mhm.
way different to how you show up to
Mhm.
your kids, and you
Mhm.
live with both of them,
Mhm.
right? So, and then then with your team,
Yeah.
clients, or with me today,
Yeah.
each of those is a different person.
Yeah.
The way we show up for content
Mhm.
is going to be a different person.
Mm.
And the way we show up to content on different platforms are going to be different people on each of them. I'm
That's what
very
I needed
different
to
on
hear
LinkedIn. Yeah.
today. I love
Yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
don't get caught up, oh, this doesn't feel authentic to me.
Yeah.
It's like, but is it? It has to be part of you.
It's a
You
version of
did it.
you. It's
Like,
somewhere in you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't fake something you're not
Yeah.
actually. There's something inside you that let you do that potential like delivery of whatever
Yeah.
or communication. It's still built on all the biases that you've had from your
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
life. You can't just make it up.
Yeah.
And if you did, you're not going to be able to sustain it, that's
Yeah.
for sure. So at some point, it's going to crack.
Mm.
So what I say to people is like, don't worry that like it isn't the version of you that that person might be used to.
Mm.
What you're trying to do when you make content and put your brand out there is what is the version of me that the widest audience or
Mm.
the audience that I'm trying to talk to
Mhm.
wants.
Mm.
So if you think of my like if anyone looks at my LinkedIn content, it's a very particular part of me. It's very like the raw like part of like my journey of like
Mm.
really broken down of like the way the way I'm feeling about things as well.
Mhm.
It's like a very like take on my leadership challenges and the way I've might have like let people down on my team or like
Mm.
might have spent money that I might not have and it's
Mhm.
gone into things. That's a real genuine feelings I have.
Mhm.
But then you watch me on my Instagram and it's me like I'm an AI tech bro.
Yeah.
Like and I'm like, look at
Yeah.
all this money, look at
Yeah.
this stuff. And it's like they're two different Stanleys.
Yeah.
But both those Stanleys exist.
Yeah.
And then the Stanley that's on the Attention Seeker when the team are, doing what they do with me,
Yeah.
that's another part of me. That's the part of Stanley that like does like to have fun and like be silly and do all those sorts of things. And I play a certain character when I'm
Mm.
being grumpy. But that's me having some fun with them as well,
Yeah.
right? And then this Stanley in this conversation is a different Stanley again.
Yeah.
So I think when people are building their brands, every piece of like every channel that you're on, if you go on other people's podcasts, like this
Mm.
podcast interview, if everyone watched all the podcast interviews I've
Mm.
ever done, I'm different on all of
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
because I'm responding to you.
Yeah.
So you're my audience today,
Yeah.
and I'm reflecting how I think I should talk to you, which is probably the right way for them. And
Mm.
I don't consciously go, okay, so
Mm.
I mean to do this. I'm just
Yeah.
responding to the situation.
Yeah. It's called fawning.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
walk into spaces and we work
exactly.
out who we need to show up
Yeah,
as.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So don't this idea of authenticity and content. I
Yeah.
hate.
That is so valuable
Yeah.
to hear. Like, because that's
Yeah.
the workaround.
Yeah.
The workaround is that
Yeah.
I'm like multifaceted
Yeah.
and I have to be this particular facet to exist
Yeah.
and do well on this particular platform because that's what these people want.
Exactly.
That is so permission giving.
No one will
Yeah.
ever be able to know the whole you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I put out content a lot.
Yeah.
And people think they know me.
Yeah.
People meet me and they're like, oh man, I watch your content, I know all this.
Yeah.
And all that. It's like, you know this much.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of me,
Yeah.
but it's still only this much. There's
Yeah.
so much more to me that you'll never see. You'll
Yeah.
never see how, people always like are surprised when they find out like I'm the golden retriever in the relationship with Claire.
Yeah.
Like they're like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that you're a little puppy dog around it. And I'm like, I 100%
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
And like people, I was like, you'll never see that.
Yeah.
You'll never see, like my team don't see it.
Yeah.
And
That's your private world.
that's a different world. It's just who you are with different
Yeah.
people. And so I think, it is a good thing for people to hear. The authenticity chat that people have is they think, I think I'm one way and I want everyone else to see that one way. Typically what you're saying is, here's this ideal version of who I want the world to see me as.
Yeah.
So I better show them that.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, that's me being authentic. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's you being polished.
Yeah.
What you actually should think about is however you end up showing up for that audience or whatever it
Yeah.
is, that's authentic.
Yeah.
Because you can't not be authentic. You can't
Yeah,
not be
yeah.
yourself. It's like I always laugh at like it's typically the younger guys in the team. they'll like, people take a photo, like, oh, let me look at a photo. Oh, no, let's do another one. My face looks funny. I was like,
Yeah, you do look that way from that side.
sorry about that. It's just your face.
Yeah.
You can't really get a new one.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, oh, we can make it look
Yeah.
better. I was like, it just is your face. We
Yeah.
see your face in all those facets.
It's like
all
when
the
we
time.
hear our voice recorded and we're like, oh, is that what it sounds like? It's not what I hear in my head. Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I can only hear my recorded voice now.
Yeah.
I can't hear, like, I've lost, you know how, what you're saying. And then you hear a recorded voice and you're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I can only hear that now. I can like, it's weird. I've gotten so used to hearing my voice.
Yeah.
I've only got the one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like merged.
Yeah, it's totally merged. We noticed it the other day because someone was talking about it. I was like, actually that left, because someone asked me, is it weird listening to yourself? Does it sound funny? And I was like, no, like actually, I realized at the time, like actually I do it so often now. It just sounds like.
And you recognize that easier than, the internal sound. Wow. How
weird,
fascinating. Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if
there'll be some explanation for that, I'm sure, somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly.
As we wrap up, one of the things that you have picked up on today is that, this audience is a wee bit different to the norm. Except one of the things that I see in you is your boldness and your confidence. And that is something that a lot of my audience struggle with, is that back yourself, change that thing, sell the apartment, take a chance on yourself. What's your advice to people who struggle in that space of backing themselves?
Gosh, I might be too bullish. My risk tolerance, like I'm happy to take on a lot of risk. I come from Manadera. I grew up quite poor, and every opportunity I've had, I've gone, this is amazing. Like, I love life. So I've been homeless. Like I've like lived on the streets when I was younger, and like things have gone wrong for me a lot. So I've had the bottom, and I've had the tops of stuff. And I kind of think to everyone, like, I've been as bad as it is. It wasn't that bad. Yeah. Like, life wasn't that bad. Like, did I really want to be homeless for those 6 weeks? No. But like, I'm still here. Some of my best memories of life were those 6 weeks of me and my cousin trying to figure it out. And so I say to people, like, you probably, and especially the audience that's listening to this podcast, because I'm imagining that, like, one, they speak English, so therefore they're probably in a world where that's not that bad. There's probably a social welfare layer that can probably help them, or at least community. For the most part, the worst that can happen is not that bad. Yeah. That's really hard for people to hear, though, because people are like, well, I don't want to be homeless. And I get it. Like, I'm not telling you to go be homeless, but what I'm trying to, you probably won't get to where I was. I was dumb and I was young and I got to a position I shouldn't have been in. But given that your demographic's probably a little bit older than I was when I was 21, that the worst thing that can happen of you trying something is that you just have to go back to where you started. That's probably the worst thing. Yeah. And that's not that bad. At least you've scratched the itch and you haven't given it a go. But what's the best thing that can happen? Like, what if you did actually succeed and do all the things you want to do? How good would that be? So I'm like always constantly balancing this, like, risk versus reward in everything I do. And if the reward is just completely outsized of the risk, I'll just go for it. So my advice to people when you're thinking about doing this sort of stuff is going, like, what have you really got to lose? Like, mitigate all those risks first. Of course, if you've got kids and you have to, like, feed them and there's stuff there, make sure you're understanding what that is. Don't be me and go get homeless. That was dumb. But mitigate those risks and make sure, okay, I can't, these are like absolute zeros. Yeah. And I have them now because I have this business. I can't just burn the business down now. I've got people who rely on me. So I've got these zeros where I go, okay, as long as the negative doesn't wipe that out, or I have a way to solve for that if it does go bad, then even if it just means I stay still for 12 months, just go for it. Yeah. Like last year for us was an example. I thought I would try and scale the team, or was it maybe 2 years ago, scale the team to 40 and I'd push and would go real hard. And I thought I could bring in enough business to do that. And I was wrong. Yeah. Like, we do more revenue now than we did then, but like the 40 staff needed double the revenue. Yeah. And so where did I get to this year? Well, people started to naturally attrition anyway as we went through that 2-year period. We then implemented AI, we increased the revenue. And so actually I'm still ahead. I learned a lot. I now know why I can't just push straight to 40 in a market like New Zealand. Yeah. And so I'm way better positioned now, even though it was a terrible 18 months time. Like, it was real tough and bled money and all these sorts of things. So if you're going to go do it, like, I get, like, my wife's very much like this. She's not very, she's very risk adverse. But she has learned to go, well, actually, if the outcome is worth it and I can mitigate as many, like a few of the risks, the real bad ones, just give it a go. Like, just give it a go. You just will surprise yourself how much easier it is than you think. The only thing I can say is if you limp in, it won't work. You have to give it your full go. Everyone who has one foot still in, it never works out. It always falls over because they've never truly gone for it. So if you are going to try something quite substantial and outrageous and like put it out there, put yourself out there, you have to, once you've done all the mitigation, all that sort of stuff, you have to give it 100%. And that's why, like, people say, oh, how did you do it? It's like, well, I give everything 100%. I don't know how to not actually. Like, my brain just, it's either all in or all out. And so, if you're out there and you're trying to think of something, just once you've done all the mitigation and you're confident, or you're at least like, it's worth the risk, then just go all in.
One of the things I love about having guests on a podcast is that ultimately what people get from the experience of listening to a big chat is like the essence of a person and the essence of their message. And yours, like at least today in this version, this iteration, is one of backing yourself, of being able to go all in on things, of not standing in your own way, getting out of your own way, and really applying yourself, whether that's to your relationship or your business or, your brand, whatever it is that you're needing to go in on, go properly in on it.
I think people expect big things from little inputs. And that you just have to understand that it's not true. That does not work. Like, it's okay to not be like super successful in terms of like a career or financial perspective. It's okay to not be someone who earns $10 million a year or whatever. That's okay. Like, not everyone can do that. Our society can't actually even sustain that. But if you do want those like outsized returns, you can't limp your way into that. Like, you have to understand that, like, the people who have had a lot of success, there's some people who have had a bit of privilege to get there, of course. But actually, like, those rags to riches stories that you see, those people haven't lucked in. They have made the most of opportunities presented them and they've gone full steam ahead at it. And you can't expect to get that by, like, people are like, oh, I had a client I was talking to the other day. He's like, oh, I want all this stuff. And, I only want to post like maybe once a week. I was like, man, I do like 500 pieces of content a week, like across our business. Like, you can't get to where I am doing one LinkedIn. Like, it's just not going to happen, mate.
Tell me what you want, then show me your diary.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's it. If you're out there and you want to like go and do something, that's why I say go all in, because like you're not going to get those results if you just try something half-assed.
Yeah, such a good message for people to hear. Thank you so much. Thanks for spending this time with me. I hope today's episode has helped you understand yourself a little better and given you something practical to take into life this week. If you found it helpful, I'd love you to follow the podcast, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who might need it too. It really is the best way for more people to find these conversations. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time on Mind You.